It is the Frank and Friends show. Hi there, I'm Frank Murphy.
And I'm Tala Shatara.
Tala, you've been a friend of mine for a while, but the setup today just seems so much easier for some reason.
I know, I told you, once a Gen Z enters the room, everything changes. I took over everything, and you'll never have a problem again.
I'm sweating because I struggle trying to set up the equipment sometimes, and trying to frame the shot. That's the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
And you're like, why don't you just lock your screen and do this and do that? I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Just one click of a button, honestly.
I really should have done all that. So thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk about Tala Shatara today, and we're going to talk about all the regular things in the Frank and Friends show. We urge you to go to our scenic website, frankandfriendshow.com/store, and you can buy fabulous items like this hoodie that I like to show, right side up. It's nice, high quality merchandise.
Very nice.
But I really got to get some t-shirts for demonstration because it was so warm over the weekend.
I know, and it's only getting warmer.
Well, thankfully, we're in the 60s this week, so it'll pretend it's back to spring-like weather.
I love it.
But the 80s over the weekend made me just want more. I like the hot weather.
I do too. I like some good cold weather as well.
No, never.
Once I hit the cold weather, that's when the pumpkin spice lattes come out.
The pumpkin spice lattes come out in August.
Okay, and that's when the cold weather hits.
It's not cold in August.
In Tennessee, anything is possible.
All right. Yeah, you're cracking me up.
I love
it.
You're
right though about the weather, because in 1 week I used to think, that tired old meme about all 4 seasons in 1 week. It's entirely true.
It's so true.
You get rain, snow, hail, sleet, everything, record heat, record cold, and that can all happen in the course of 7 or 10 days around here.
Absolutely.
So one thing I need to tell you about that I've got coming up this week is there's a book by Missy Barrett. Let me rephrase that. Missy Barrett is the character. And I forget because she writes to me, this character, Missy Barrett, writes to me on Facebook. So I sometimes forget that she's the lead character of this little book that's very sweet, and it's set in Sevier County, and it's like a mystery, not a murder mystery, but like an Encyclopedia Brown kind of mystery.
Okay.
And the author's name is Elyse Bruce, and I met her a few years ago, and she said that she wanted to put me into a chapter of her book. And I thought, that's funny, that's so sweet.
Villain?
Oh, what a burn.
No, but seriously, she wants to put you into her book.
So she did.
Okay.
And the book comes out this week. So there's going to be a couple of, it's called The Case of the Thoughtful Thief.
Okay.
And she sent me, I'm in chapter 8. If you go to chapter 8 of The Case of the Thoughtful Thief, Missy Barrett goes to the island in Pigeon Forge and meets Mr. Frank Murphy at the, he's the host of Scholars Bowl. He's got Up Close with Frank Murphy on PBS. He's in Einstein Simplified.
Oh my gosh.
Don't you know all of these things? He's got the Frank and Friends show and blah, 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 blah. So I was so thrilled to be in this children's book.
Yeah.
That when...
This is a children's book?
Yeah.
Oh,
like a young
okay.
adult, probably...
Young adult.
Imagine...
Like my age?
Yeah. I was thinking my grandson Artie, who's 8, but sure.
Oh, I act 8. Is that the same thing?
Yes, that's
great.
kind of what I'm driving at.
Okay, great.
But I think, probably who would be reading books like this? Probably, middle school, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's going to be a couple of book launch events this week in Sevierville.
Okay.
Pigeon Forge and Sevierville and Seymour. And there's 2 on Wednesday at libraries in Seymour and Pigeon Forge. And then there's one on Thursday at the big King Family Library in Sevierville.
Okay.
And I was invited to go read my chapter aloud.
Frank, look at you. This is the big time.
So I did say yes. I guess I probably should mention.
Oh yeah,
it does seem like yes. If I'm so big time, I'd probably say, oh no, I don't have time.
I'll let my people get back to your people.
I don't have time for that.
Right.
But that's coming up this week. So I don't know if you need, I can send you her information if you want to talk to her for.
We would love that.
For Living East Tennessee, because we need to explain that this is the Tala Shatara, not any other Tala Shatara. Of all the Tala Shataras.
There's a lot of them.
Are there?
Not in this region.
Oh.
You gotta hop an ocean and you'll find a bunch over there.
That's true. When you start typing in, when you're trying to tag Tala Shatara on Twitter, which I don't think you have.
No.
But a lot of other Tala Shataras are on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think that's her. That doesn't look like her. No, I definitely don't want to click on that one.
No, yeah. Trust me, my name is like John Smith over there.
Over there, meaning the Middle East?
Middle East. The whole Middle East.
Oh, well, I'm glad I got you in during Arab Appreciation Month. We snuck it in during April.
I'm sorry. What?
Isn't April... you should be appreciated. I'm appreciating you.
Thank you, but I had no idea we had a whole month.
Well,
they barely give us a day.
Let me check that out. Make sure. I thought for positives that April is Arab American Heritage Month.
Oh my gosh, that's even more.
So that's really you.
That's really me.
Totally you.
It should just be called Tala Appreciation Month.
We can work that out. Yeah.
That's insane because actually I have to tell you, with our show, we learn a lot about the national months and the national days.
Yeah.
I mean, this month alone, you've got Autism Appreciation, Autism Awareness. You've got Parkinson's Awareness Month, Arab American, Earth
Day was
Day,
on Friday.
And National Earth Day, and National Earth Month is just this month alone. National Volunteer Month is this month.
Mm-hmm. And then next month, there'll be a whole new slew.
My favorite's Mental Health Awareness. That's in May. I'm looking very much forward to it.
Oh, good. Saint Nympha, pray for us.
Absolutely.
That's what we Catholics say when we're talking about mental health. She was the patron saint. She's the patron saint of mental illness. So
okay.
Saint Nympha, pray for us.
Pray for us.
So
absolutely.
So there you go. Happy April Arab American Heritage Month.
Thank you so much. Oh, what an honor.
Now tell Mom and Dad that I mentioned that because, I've known your parents for a while.
You have.
I've known them actually longer than I've known you.
I think that they forced themselves onto you, and I'm very sorry for it.
I can't say that that's true.
Okay.
Maybe your mom, but definitely not your dad. Because
I was thinking the other way around.
No, I was in the FBI Citizens Academy class with your dad.
I know.
He and I were classmates in that, and that was probably 2009, maybe 2009, maybe.
Yeah,
I forget. It's been a while. And then we both went to the after party, if you will, which is called the FBI Citizens Academy Alumni Association. So we would go see Dr. Bass speak. We would go to these other interesting field trips. It's really it's field trips for grown-ups. You go to the airport and we look at fire engines and...
I love it. Oh, yeah, he loved that day.
At the airport fire department, in case there's a fire at the airport, we got to look at the foam that they spray.
I know. I saw all the pictures. Not by choice.
Yeah.
But I did see all the pictures.
So that's your dad and me. We're going to these different things at the time. And I got to meet your mom because she's got her travel business and she wanted to tell me all about it. And at one point along the way, they said, oh, can our daughter drop by? That was what it was, right? Drop by you were probably in college.
Radio station. No, I think I was in high school still.
High school?
Oh, yeah, high school. 2009.
Well, I mean, this was at some point in between 2009
until now.
And now, they said...
In the high school, I think it was high school.
And they said, Tala's interested in broadcasting.
I'm pretty sure I was in elementary school, and they really just wanted to start me off as young as possible. I probably couldn't even walk yet. They just took me, and I waved at the window.
Held the baby up to the window.
Yeah, that was exactly. That was when the broadcast world hit me. Yes.
Do you remember? You don't even remember this, do you? Maybe, kind of.
Vaguely.
Well, you came by more than once to the, didn't you?
I think I have. I did come by more than once. I met Mark and Kim.
Yes.
I met so many other people, and I had the best time. It was so long ago, though. Right.
Well, in your short life, the percentage is greater than in my long life, the percentage is smaller. So to me, it wasn't that long ago, percentage-wise.
Right.
For me, it was like, I don't know, 0.03% of my life ago. But for you, it's like half.
It was half of my life, pretty much, yeah, which is crazy. So I remember that, and I feel that I still have to apologize. Like, I feel like maybe we did push myself and
No, I'm going to, no, please stop.
Okay.
Because I want you now that you're a professional broadcaster and the host of Living East Tennessee on Channel 6. Kids are going to, I saw this the other day. I saw a young lady who was, you put the headset on her and you let her hold the something, clipboard or whatever it is so she could follow along with the show.
Yeah.
You helped that kid check out and see if she has an interest in the field or not. So now the roles are reversed and you're going to feel the way I felt when someone is interested and excited in what you do. It's great.
You want to help.
So when Samer, your dad, comes over and says, my daughter's interested and excited about what you, Frank, do for a living, maybe not radio, but broadcasting in general, it's like, yes, of course. And there were there are, I'm not going to say hundreds, but probably tens of kids over the years whose parents came by and, and said, there, can we take a look at the studio? My child might be interested. And it's always a rush.
It is. And I can't wait for that day for myself, honestly.
You've already had it. You didn't realize it.
I did.
Yes,
no.
It's going to happen more and more frequently.
Right.
And just be aware of it and appreciate it and always help, those who, of the next generation, pay it forward.
I love it. It really is a pay it forward kind of moment. For
Yes.
National Volunteer Month, only this month I will be helping you excel in broadcast.
You better hurry, kids, because you've only got to the end of the week then.
But yeah, no, I it's so true. And then, full circle moment, seeing you all these years and kind of growing more close to you.
Yeah.
Attending your improv.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've never laughed harder in my life.
I would hope that you'll come again more
I
often.
love
It's it's hard to get out on a Tuesday night because you have a job that requires you to work. But I'm glad you and your parents came. Actually, you've been a few times. I thought I saw you there with Alante Walker, your coworker.
I have, and I die laughing. Like sometimes I'm snorting. Like
That's good.
I'm like it's awful.
Well, if you're doing comedy, if you can make someone ugly laugh or ugly cry, it's like
you've accomplished so much.
It's the best.
I bet.
Yeah.
Well, I love it, and the people that you are up on stage with every Tuesday the talent is unmatched.
Yeah. So we got a show every Tuesday night, including tonight. So come out and check it out. EinsteinSimplified.com is the website. It's a fun little show. It's like Whose Line Is It Anyway? Comedy improv.
It's so funny.
It occurs to me that I want to tell you about a couple of things while we're still in Easter season.
Yes.
And I need to tell you about the weird commercials that I saw during a religious show that I was trying to watch for Easter with my wife.
Okay.
And also I can tell you a little bit about my love of Easter candy. But it occurs to me that during, Arab American Appreciation Month, I should point out that the centerpiece for today's show are some of my fig cuttings.
Oh, really?
Listen to this.
What an honor. I feel like we're really back in the Holy Land right now.
Well, I wish.
I feel it.
Yeah, so I've never been.
Oh,
my daughter has been to the Holy Land, and I do need to probably go. Mm-hmm. But disregard the tortoise. He's from California. Actually, figs grow very well in California. But I've got 3 things of figs back here that are 3 different varieties that I'm trying to cultivate from cuttings. Okay. So I've got the mama tree or the daddy tree or whatever, the main tree of all of these, it grows in the garden. And then in February, I cut these twigs off and put them in dirt.
Okay.
So that they would grow. So those
indoors.
Yeah. Well, eventually they're going to get planted outside.
Oh, okay.
The idea is for them to root, but these 3 are doing particularly well.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind this is. This is mystery fig. This one is a Celeste, and this one is brown turkey.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I'm going to try to look up the mystery fig and learn what it is. It might be Adriatic. I don't know.
I don't know much about figs.
Neither do I. I'm learning.
Yeah,
I'm learning, except that I can learn that I can grow them pretty easily. And I was so mad when in fact, part of the reason they're here this morning is as I was getting set up, I looked outside. I had set the figs out in the nice weather. It was 80 degrees, warm weather. The figs love, they're from the desert. They love hot weather, and they don't want to get too wet, but they want to get, sunshine. Mm-hmm. There's a flipping squirrel digging around in my fig containers.
Oh no!
Because this is just 3. There's probably 15 more of them out there on the back porch, and I was so mad. I was yelling at this squirrel. I don't know if he's trying to hide his acorns in there, or if he's trying to look and see if he left his acorn in there last year, or what he's looking for, or if he's going to eat the leaves. Because who would eat fig leaves?
An Arab American squirrel.
Oh, all right. Maybe that's possible, because there's another one of my fig plants out there. It's got a big bite taken out of one of the leaves.
That's it. That was Muhammad the squirrel.
But fig leaves are nasty. They're uncomfortable. They're rough. They'll give you a rash when you break a fig leaf. There's the sap inside of it, which is this oozy, milky white stuff.
Right.
It's an irritant. It's a skin irritant.
And they'll never do it again after that.
Well, maybe.
You watch.
I suppose. Okay.
You watch. But I have this just image of you just yelling at a squirrel.
Today I went, hi.
Yeah.
I made some noise and I just clapped my hands.
It sounds
and
animated.
I said, hi.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Well, I'll run tape next time. I'll get a camera out there.
Thank you. So tell me about this commercial.
Well, I will right after. Speaking of commercials, your timing is impeccable. Look at that.
Look at that.
We're right at the 15-minute mark. And
it's in my blood. Since I was a little girl, seeing you in the window.
The mid-roll commercial, as we say in podcast land, means midway through the show, is for bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. So we have I brought a couple things for show and tell. Tala, you can either touch the skull or touch
Always the skull.
The tumbler. Dr. Bill Bass, the brilliant forensic anthropologist, has merchandise for sale, and you can see that he's autographed right there across the supraorbital ridge, or actually this might be a girl's skull, I think. I can't tell.
You taught me this last time.
I'm not as good as Dr. Bass, but see...
the one in the back. This was the man. This was the girl.
My skull has a bump in the back and has a ridge above my eyes. Yours would not.
Right.
Okay? Because that's the way, it's one of the key differentiations when you're trying to figure out, is this skull from a man or woman? Is this an older skull? You see, look at the sutures across the top and to see if they're sewn together, meaning this is a plastic, it's resin, but it's in a good example. It's very realistic looking. And you can buy that from bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. As you could these tumblers, as you could any of Dr. Bass's books, the Jefferson Bass books. Autograph photos, challenge coins like they do in the FBI Citizens Academy, the key tags, just fun things, T-shirts. But I recommend, really, if you haven't read the books, you got to get the books and have them sign them and personalize them to you. I mean, the man is...
he's remarkable.
93 and a half. Wow. We're going to have a celebration for his 94th birthday in August. And he's already got speaking engagements on the calendar. If you go to bonezones.com, don't forget the S, to see his schedule. Firstly, you'll see me on there as hi. But you'll also see that we've got already on the calendar events in August, October, and December.
Nice. Nice. Charge ahead.
Yeah.
Keep planning them.
And we just this past weekend had the one in Oak Ridge at the Children's Museum of Oak Ridge. So there you go. Dr. Bill Bass.
We love it.
Fabulous. Great merchandise. And I'm glad I had this today. I borrowed it. You know why I borrowed it?
For our show.
To be on your show. Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's funny because I think that the camera is recognizing the skull and trying to focus on it.
Oh, that's
Watch
so
this.
funny.
I'll really mess up everything. Watch this. It'll focus on the skull and and then back to us. Okay.
Look at that.
All right. Well, Tala Shatara, famous television personality. Well, you're on TV more than I am.
But you've been on longer in your life, so I still have a lot of catching up to do. Because you're old, Frank Murphy. Don't forget that factor.
That is the truth.
Yes.
That is entirely. You can see I've got I just decided to grow the beard. My hairstylist said, if you grow the beard a little longer on your chin, it'll make your face look less fat. I said, that's good.
I just need to grow a beard.
I can do that. And also, but I decided to let it, the white of it show and just let it go be little. It's my COVID beard. I used to keep it really
I like it.
Closely trimmed. And now
I like it.
Let it go just one, like on the haircut thing.
Yeah.
That's like one blade or adjuster longer.
Right.
You put these guards on them and you just go.
Okay. I don't know that life.
I hope not.
Yeah.
But speaking of trimming hair.
Yeah. I can't wait for this story.
All right. So for Easter, my wife says we should watch something while we're eating, leading up to, we've been at church or she's been singing at church and she wants to maybe unwind a little bit or something. And it's just the two of us, right? We did, the families all lives away. So we watched the Ten Commandments, Moses.
Great movie.
And someone sent me a YouTube link of every time Ann Baxter says Moses in the entire movie.
Do you take a shot every single time she says it?
You should, but they compiled it down into a 4-minute YouTube video. It's just one after the other of her going, Moses, Moses, Moses.
I need this
Moses.
clip.
It's great.
Okay.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
So then I remember her, of course, she was on Batman in the 1960s, which was about 10 years after she did the Ten Commandments. Beautiful actress. She died too young. But she's like in her 60s, but that's now, for me now that I realize that's too young.
Very young, actually. Yeah.
So then we made it through that, and we watched Jesus Christ Superstar another night. And then we thought, well, we still had time to kill. So I thought, what about that? I was trying to find The Chosen, but I found instead this 1970s miniseries called Jesus of Nazareth.
Okay.
And I knew it existed. I thought I had watched it, but maybe I only ever watched the beginning because I remembered that Olivia Hussey, who was Juliet in Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet, also plays Mary.
Okay.
So Juliet plays Mary, and there's a lot of other big-name famous actors in there. From James Earl Jones as one of the three kings at Christmas time.
Okay.
There's Christopher Plummer plays Herod.
R.I.P.
Did he die too? They're all dead, I guess.
Yes, but
Well, not all dead.
last year.
Yeah, he died more recently, and he had a lot of a meaty role, you know.
We love him.
Some of these guys, they're on for like 2 minutes and then nothing. But
Right.
anyway, so we're watching this, and it's on the Roku channel, so it's not like a real channel.
I know that really isn't a real.
Well, but it's
channel.
becoming a real channel because someone said that the Weird Al Yankovic movie that Daniel Radcliffe is in is going to be exclusive to
Roku.
the Roku channel. Oh. So they're building up the Roku channel.
Okay.
And as a side note, I've clicked around, I got fascinated by it. They have these karaoke channels. So like there's 80s karaoke and country karaoke, and it's
I've seen them
on the Roku channel. So it's terrific. So we find, I went into the search and I said, well, Jesus of Nazareth is on the Roku channel, free with ads. But they didn't seem to have a lot of ads.
Okay.
But here we are. It's during for chapter 1. You know, Mary's traipsing around, getting ready, talking to all her cousins and getting ready. Everyone's headed toward Bethlehem for the big thing. And the movie just cuts off, as digital movies do, for a commercial for a bikini shaving tool.
Venus.
Is that what it's called?
I would think it's the
It
Venus
looks
one.
it's some kind of,
It's like this long,
yeah,
and it's got 2 ends.
and it just showed people,
Did they trim a bush? Not like an actual one,
no,
like an actual tree, shrub.
no, there was no shrubbery. They had some,
That's how they do it in the commercial.
well, this is a different product.
Oh, okay. I knew I was going to say something like that. So left field.
No, there was no plant. There was no figs, no bushes,
Okay,
no
okay.
trees, no vegetation. Other than this dude's hairy leg or whatever it was, maybe some lady's leg, and they're showing a thigh, and it looked like a street razor.
Yeah.
It kind of, but with like a comb or something. I don't know. They were just rubbing it and removing stubble.
Okay.
And I thought, well, this is weird. That I understand if you're watching any other show, if you're watching Sex and the City, or you're watching some other,
Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, any show like that, and the bikini hair trimmer comes on, you're going to think nothing of it.
Right.
But you know, during the story of Christmas, which we were still up to chapter 1, it seemed odd.
It is odd, but I've started to notice that I don't think the commercials really coincide well with any show or movie that I'm watching.
You know, anytime you watch a YouTube channel and the commercials just come blaring in right mid-sentence.
I hate that.
Why is that?
I hate that. Money.
Well, I get that, but why can't they? It would be nice if there was some algorithm.
Because they know we're going to keep returning.
But don't you just hit skip ad as fast as possible?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I try to make a game out of it. How fast can I do it?
Now, all right, here's a question then. You're watching a YouTube, let's say you're watching my show, and an ad pops in. Do you hit skip ad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, that's fine, because I don't have enough viewers yet. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers before I can even monetize. But we have several videos that have thousands of views. So YouTube, and once it gets even to 100 views, YouTube starts inserting ads into it. But they keep all that. However,
of course they do.
They also are trying to sell me ads, telling me that I should buy YouTube ads on other people's channels. I only would have to pay for the ad if someone watches more than half of it.
Oh.
So that's why some of these YouTube ads are 2 hours long. Because nobody's going to watch more than half of it.
I know.
Ding.
I always think it's such a waste of money for the advertiser to do that when they know there's a skip option.
Well, no, I think it's brilliant. Because let's suppose I took a 5-minute clip of this show and I bought it as an ad on YouTube. I'm only going to get charged if someone watches more than 2.5 minutes of it.
Oh.
So if I front load all the good stuff into the first 10 seconds, and then they hit skip ad, I'm like, thank you for the free ad, YouTube.
Absolutely.
Now, I probably shouldn't have said that on YouTube because probably now never happen. But
it's okay. They're always listening. They're here.
If you notice that when you see ads on your phone and for every other thing. They say it's not true, but how could it not be true if it keeps happening?
I know.
What happens to you?
Well, what happens to me is it's almost subliminal. What is that word? I almost will think about a new pair of shoes and I'll see the ad for it. Like I think that they really tapped into a deeper part of me.
Well, I think the logical explanation is that there's two things going on that you've got shoes on the mind because of something else put them in your mind, okay?
Okay.
Something happened that both you and the Facebook ad machine or whatever ad machine it is that you're looking at, you and your real life mind and the computer mind both picked up on the clue for shoes.
Okay.
So you think of shoes and it thinks of shoes, and it seems like they're reading your mind, but in fact you're both reading something else's mind
Okay.
at the same time. That's my opinion.
I actually think that sounds very logical.
Because we are perceptive people. So, and you know how all the thoughts that come barraging through your head during the course of a day.
Oh, yeah.
Because something triggers it.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the same thing that triggers the ads is also triggering your mind.
It's so true that really when it comes to advertising and marketing and even really communications in general, that there's such a psychology factor to it. It's insane.
Oh yeah, I mean it's all you're trying to change someone's behavior. In this show, I'm trying to constantly get you to change your behavior and get you maybe to stop watching the YouTube through Facebook because it's easier.
Right.
But it doesn't count. You're not logged into YouTube that way, and Facebook doesn't want you to leave.
I didn't know that actually. I thought if you watch something through Facebook and it is a YouTube link.
Oh, I'll get a count. I'll get a
view.
It'll show up as one view, but. If I need you to subscribe, if I want you to become a subscriber and hit the bell for notifications, which I forgot to say, or I can leave that for in case
I wondered what that was for.
It's hit the bell for notifications.
I love it. I feel like I'm on The Voice and I'm turning around my chair. I
Good. You can totally do that.
I love that.
Okay. But that's to get you to do that, to get you to actually log into YouTube. Now, of course, it's no big deal for you because you have a YouTube channel. You're on YouTube probably. You're looking at it all the time, no?
No.
You don't?
No.
I figured you'd be a huge.
No,
because you've got all your Instagram and whatnots.
I think, and that's what you mentioned, is Instagram is like my love language. It's going to take a long time for me to wean off of that and go into something else.
Okay.
Yeah, I love Instagram. But the thing about Instagram is it gives you the ability to create really great videos as well.
Oh, wow.
Reels and stories and all that good stuff. So you
now
can get your video content through there.
You're talking a language that is I haven't studied up on. I've been studying how to make YouTube videos, and I've learned how to edit videos, on my iPad using iMovie to the point where they're passable. I mean, my a highly qualified YouTuber would look like, well, you're all right. But then I got my friend Bean and others who look at my videos and go, you've got more things than I know how to do. Because there's always that level.
Everyone has their own skills.
Well, to me, you're that guru of Instagram where I don't know how to make a reel. I really don't.
I don't know. See, that's the thing. It's so funny. Like TikTok, for example.
Yeah.
I love TikTok.
Of course you do.
Never made one.
Why not?
Because I'm just too busy watching everybody else's creations. I will get lost in a TikTok. It's insane.
Yeah. What's your favorite topic? Is it people raving out, or is it people doing funny dance moves?
No, I'm not the dance move girl. I'm more of like the pranks.
Okay.
Like when people are playing pranks on each other. I also love like when someone's catching a moment that's in public that should not have been filmed, but it was like an irate flight.
Oh, all right. See, I find myself watching these videos of things being made.
Oh, yeah?
These reels of, it's just, I don't know why I'm watching, I'm trying to figure out what it is they're making, but it's like, some piece of metal is going into a factory machine, and things happen, and then you're trying to figure out what's it gonna be.
Yeah.
They're mashing something and it comes out as a bowl. How can that be? How can you take something and pound the heck out of it and it's a bowl?
Oh, I know which ones you're talking about.
Or maybe it's they're putting the ink on it. You think it's going to be destroyed, but it's really just a ink,
Right.
And you watch these things of wires being, that was one I watched, was wire hangers. And I started laughing because there's an old movie about Joan Crawford where was it Faye Dunaway plays Joan Crawford, and it's one of these ones that people love to quote where she goes, I thought I told you. Well, first of all, she's screaming. She comes into the closet, and there's wire hangers in the closet. She's furious. What's wire hangers doing in this closet when I told you no wire hangers ever? And she raves out about wire hangers, and she beats her child. It's a terrible story.
Oh, man, that was
But
dark.
it's become it's one of these things where the Joan Crawford fans, it's like a cult thing. Like,
Yeah.
the Judy Garland fans, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
The other side of that would be the Joan Crawford fans who they dress up as Joan Crawford and they scream about wire hangers.
Yeah.
So it's probably passé. It's probably more of a 10 years ago or more, 20 years ago. But I'm watching this video and thinking about Joan Crawford screaming wire hangers, but it's just a machine making wire hangers, taking a piece of wire and all of a sudden it's in the shape, it's flat, and then it's a triangle, and then it's twisted.
Oh, and they show you how to do it.
Well, it's a machine doing it.
Okay.
Bum, 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 and there's just thousands of them just coming off the assembly line. And thinking, why am I watching this?
Because I think that really taps into you are the kind of person who just likes to know how things work.
Yeah. Oh, I used to love a show on Food Network called Unwrapped.
Okay.
Because they would have episodes about all my favorite junk foods. Here's marshmallow peeps being made.
Oh, yeah.
Extruded from the and then bent into the shape of a chick, and then blown down the thing, and the sugar is blasted on them, and then the eyeballs
they just pop out.
Well, they're painted on, really, so they get a little spray of food dye or something to make the eyeballs, and off they go into
they go.
Yeah.
And speaking of, Easter was just here. Did you indulge in some peeps?
I think I may have mentioned this on a previous episode that I was worried about my peeps because I had up in the cabinet, up in the emergency stash of Easter candy that I keep year round. I had the emergency peeps, and I thought, well, I probably should rotate those because I realized that the ones on the bottom of the container had, by looking at the expiration date, been there at least 5 years. They expired in 2017. I thought, well, people like stale peeps. I like fresh peeps. I like stale peeps, so I ate them, and they were great.
Okay.
They were in an airtight container. They were stale or hard, but they were still,
You don't have to worry about salmonella with the stale peeps. So I think you're fine.
Yeah.
That's something that you can just kind of disregard the number on the expiration date.
That's a good point.
And just be
fine. They say that about Twinkies. It's not true. Twinkies will eventually go bad. But I don't see how a marshmallow peep can go bad because the ingredients are, sugar, gelatin, more sugar, maybe a little cornstarch. There's not corn syrup.
More sugar.
Yeah, it's not. Marshmallow is gelatin and corn syrup,
right.
And then you put sugar on the outside of it. That's really the whole thing. It's just
right.
You would eat sugar in your cabinet if it's been there for a while, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you wouldn't think about it. Okay. Well, anyway, so I've eaten the stale peeps, and now I can put fresher peeps in because I like to barbecue them when my grandson's in town. We put them on a stick like they're regular marshmallows, and you roast them over the fire. Have you ever done this?
No.
Please try it.
Okay.
Because the caramel, the sugar on the outside, makes a caramel crust.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's this Peeps Brulee. And the marshmallow in the middle gets nice and soft, and the outside is crunchy, and it's, wow.
This is fancy.
It is fancy. Well,
I love it.
Speaking of fancy, we'll wrap the show with a mention of how you can listen to anything in the entire world with Audible, and you go to audibletrial.com/FrankenFriendsShow to try it out for 30 days for free.
Nice.
And if you do this, I'll get money. That's how it works.
Oh.
That's
how it works.
It's a program where if you try out Audible for 30 days, you're supporting the Frank and Friends show using our link, of course. But also, they're pretty confident that you're going to want to stick around. They'll give you a credit for one free MP3 download during that first month, and you keep that forever. And then, of course, as you continue on as a member, you get more credits. And you can listen to tens of thousands of audiobooks. You can listen to tens of thousands of podcasts, including this one. You can listen to new custom audio entertainment being created just for the Audible platform. And it remembers your place across devices. So whether you're listening on your phone, whether you're in the car, and then you come home and you want to listen on the Amazon Echo or on your Fire or whatever it is you use, it doesn't matter. It syncs up. So when you're listening to an audiobook, you don't have to try to figure out what chapter you want to remember. The Audible remembers.
I love that.
So, audibletrial.com/FrankenFriendsShow. And then we'll also say thanks for supporting us with the merchandise. Thank you to Kathryn Frady for updating the website and making all the nice, pretty links for our merch store at FrankenFriendsShow.com/store. I think I gave the wrong address last week because I was too tired.
That's okay. It's very early right now, but we're having fun.
Well, I appreciate you coming. Tala Shatara.
Thank you so much.
Anything else we want to learn about you? Give us the plug.
Oh my gosh, the plug. TalaShatara.com.
Nice.
Yeah, please let paying $12 a month be worth it for that domain name. And Instagram.com/Tala Shatara and livingeasttennessee.com.
Yeah.
We
You want
love
every weekday at 3 o'clock?
Weekdays, 3 o'clock on WATE, 6 on your side.
You can also watch it on live on stream. Like
Live
my friends,
stream it.
I've got friends in New York who, when I remember to tell them that I'm going to be on, will live stream it.
Nice.
In fact, I think I'm on Friday. This Friday.
You are coming on this Friday, and we're so excited.
That means we need more topics, right?
Yes, we do need more topics. But you know what? With your life, anything can happen within a couple of days.
That's a good point.
I know.
Well, you can tell about your experience of being here at the podcast Ponderosa.
Yeah, the podcast Ponderosa. I love that that's the name for it, but I love it. And I've seen the show before, and I always wondered what this all, what it was in front of it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's the kitchen. See, that's
the kitchen's just right there. I literally
radio.
was staring at some popcorn.
See that microphone over there? That's the radio
side of it.
That's where I do radio.
I love it.
And this is where we do podcast.
I love it.
And then we've got Mo, the tortoise, and the figs, and you've really gotten the full value.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Delighted that you're here.
Thank
you know what I can do is the Missy Barrett book launch. Let me remind you of that. I mentioned it at the top of the show. On Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock, I'll be reading my chapter 8, at the King Family Library in Sevierville. So I'll ask Missy Barrett and author Elyse Bruce if I can borrow a copy of the book, and I'll bring it to Living East Tennessee.
That'd be great. We would love that.
In fact, you probably should just have her on as her own guest on one of the other days that she's available. I'll send you her.
We should. And I've written a book. So I'd love
That's
to.
how you got on Living East Tennessee in the first place, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's how I got on Living East Tennessee.
It's called Plan B.
Finding Plan B, yes.
What's the first word?
Finding.
Finding Plan B.
Yes. Plan B, you can just get that at Walgreens. Finding Plan B, you can get that at Barnes & Noble off Kingston Pike in Knoxville.
All right, cheers. This is the Frank and Friends Show. I'm Frank Murphy.
And I'm Tala Shatara.
And we appreciate you watching. Talk to you again next time.